Okay, right. We'll start and then I'll just start letting people in from the waiting room as they join. So I just want to say a massive thank you for everyone for joining today. This is our third masterclass of our Feels Like Summer series. And we're really excited to have Kelly here. I have done previous events with Kelly and I feel like I learn so much from her all of the time because she makes things really accessible to fit into your life and really kind of just thinks about what's going on with your body and how that kind of translates with small habits and things that you can make difference. So the whole of the Feels Like Summer series is all about feeling like your best self again. So we've had our Pilates masterclass, we have had our sound bath masterclass, we now have our nutrition masterclass, and then our final one will be next week, which will be all around the gua sha, learning how to give yourself facial massage. So I will pass over to you now, Kelly. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, no, thank you. Thanks for inviting me, first and foremost. But yeah, so I'm Kelly. I specialise in gut health. So I'm Nutrition with Kelly. And yeah, today we're going to be talking something I'm absolutely passionate about. And it's all about skin health and how it all connects with gut health. We do often with skin, like we do think about if we're, feeling a bit like patchy or just a bit out of sorts, we do often just immediately go to like skincare. And I think there's a massive place for that. But I am also a biggest fan because of my own sort of what I've gone through. I've realised how important gut health and the impact that your lifestyle can have with your skin health as well. So, yeah, of course, we can support our skin with incredible products like Olverum, but it's also just as important to delve much deeper within, with your hydration, your nutrition as well, to get optimal results, really. So my background, really, so how I've sort of come to this is, so my history is I've always had severe eczema, and I've had it since I was 3 years old. And honestly, I was head to toe. I looked horrific. I was red raw. I was scabby. Like my whole body was just so, so sore. And I just thought that was just my genetics and that's just what I was born with. And it's only probably the last 5 years I've I would say I've cured it. I've genuinely, like, since I've learned everything that I have, I've helped myself with my skincare routine, eating my 30 plant points a day, really delving in on anti-inflammatory foods, high antioxidant foods. And it's definitely just shown how much of an impact that can make.
That's
Now,
incredible.
yeah, and I just feel like finally I'm the CEO of my own body. All these years I've been going to doctors for medication, which, is this whole other story of a vicious circle. But to think I can do that with at home, with my own food, little hacks, and just try and keep inflammation as reduced as possible. And that doesn't necessarily mean that, it's all down to having a condition to need to do that. That just goes to show that you can do that for extra glowy skin as well. I would probably say my biggest flex now because I have really glowy skin and I've never had that in my life ever. So that is literally, when people meet me, oh my God, your skin's so glowy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, finally. It's
It
like
really
the best
is.
feeling.
What you're putting in, it really shows on the outside too.
Yeah. And it feels, you can see it, you can see a mile off when people really look after themselves, with nutrition, hydration, their lifestyle, what products they put on their skin. So yeah, I feel like I'm in a really good place at the moment.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, you look incredible and glowing. I want my skin to look as glowy as well. So, what can you kind of tell us in terms of what things that we are eating, how are they directly affecting how our skin looks and feels?
So essentially, the more nutritious food you eat, the more you're going to, well, the healthier your gut will be. So essentially, your gut is about 70% of your immune system. So obviously, the stronger that is, the more likely you are to absorb more nutrients from your food. So that, like I said before, the more diverse range of foods that you can have and keep your gut as optimal as possible, will have a huge impact on how your skin shows up.
That is incredible. That's mind blowing to think that your gut has like 70% of your immune system. That's
Yeah.
wild.
It is wild, yeah. And like I said, if you can absorb by looking after your gut, if it means that you can absorb more nutrients, well, guess what? Your skin's going to glow even more,
Yeah.
compared to it if you didn't. So yeah, it's
How many
really
types,
impressive.
how many types of food would you need to be eating on a day, like in terms of variety for good gut health? Or is there,
So, yeah, it's a good question. So typically we look at like 30 different plant points throughout the week. I think that's a really safe one to implement and quite achievable as well. So you can go from, so your plant points are based on like your whole foods, the diverse range of vegetables and your fruit.
yeah.
From spices as well, they count too. So I think it's like a quarter of a point, so or something like that. So if you can have 4 different varieties of spices in throughout the day or even in a meal, that counts as a plant point. So there's lots of very easy ways of getting that in throughout the week. And if you shop more seasonally as well, you're more likely to pick up different vegetables or fruit. So you can add that in as well. So it's more achievable.
Okay, it's really good to know. And then in terms of the summer, obviously we are in the summer. We talked briefly mentioned a little bit about the heat. What does summer do to the body? And what kind of changes do we need to make?
So as we experienced last week,
And I hear it's coming back again. So this is our time to get prepared for the heat again.
gets a lot hotter. And we're usually a lot hotter. So we're going to be sweating just that little bit more, just like if we're on holiday. We know that we need to be drinking more water. And the same applies when we're at home as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and generally, like in summer, we're more sociable, aren't we? So, for some people, we're more likely to be drinking more alcohol than normal. So hydration is so, so key. So there's some really good ones. In fact, one of them is going to be in one of my little drinks today. But even adding natural electrolytes into your concoctions throughout the day, so like lemons or coconut water, they're really good ones to add in just for a natural form of electrolytes, just to really, keep everything hydrated. But obviously also, like I said, we're sweating more, but then I guess like we discovered last week, probably sleep takes its toll as well. Like I think we can all comfortably agree that sleep wasn't the best last week because we're
No.
just not as kitted out for it. So yeah, so sleep takes its toll, and we all know how we feel after a rubbish night's sleep. We feel a little bit puffier, feel a little bit more drained, and often it's a vicious circle after having not the best sleep because we'll often opt for more sugary foods the next day for the energy. So yeah, we have this like vicious circle. So if you can get your sleep absolutely nailed on point, or just make a massive effort of a strong routine and structure at bedtime, then yeah, that will make a huge difference.
Okay, amazing. I just want to say, everyone, if you have any questions at any point, if you just put it into the chat box, and then I'll make sure that I'll get ask them for Kelly as well, so we can answer all of your questions as well.
Mhm.
I know I'm asking the questions, but I'm sure you all have lots of questions that you'd like to know too. So please fire them in. So any questions, just put them into the chat box, and I'll make sure we get them answered.
Mhm.
So, where should we start next, Kelly? What should we dive into? Do you want to go into kind of recipes or should we get some more questions going?
Yeah, we could go into some recipes.
Yeah.
If you want, I can quickly go into my morning, what I quite like to do, my morning routine.
Oh, yeah.
The, obviously, we discovered from yesterday's reel, like it is genuinely my favorite part of the day, as is my bedtime time routine. And it's something that I've strongly implemented into my lifestyle. 10 minutes either side of the day
Okay, not too
makes a
long.
huge difference in how I present myself for the day ahead, but also how I sort of control my or help my cortisol levels sort of manage it, to be more balanced so I get a better night's sleep. So yeah, my morning routine. I'm going to show some products actually because I've brought them down with me. I've used them this morning, and I just want to show sort of what I love about the products, but also how I implement those as well. So I absolutely adore the cleansing balm. Oh my God, that is such a firm favourite. My skin is so glowy. If you could smell it, you'd be like, wow, it's like a spa in a tub.
That's
That
the cleansing balm.
yeah, it's the best. So yeah, I find that like you can see a little bit shine today. I genuinely think that that is also a massive. This has contributed to that, and then of course the facial oil as well and the day cream. I absolutely adore. So I've applied those this morning as my morning routine. Also, massive fan of like lymphatic massages as well.
Oh,
So this dry body oil is huge for that. I think just sort of allows me just to rub everything in and just try and reduce the water retention as much as possible. So after I've done those, I then generally come downstairs. Well, actually, before that, I would say I would make my drinks and then go upstairs and do that routine.
mhm.
But I've actually been making this really delicious morning anti-inflammatory, especially now because the heat's here. Try and keep inflammation as reduced as possible so we're not as puffy. So I've got the recipe card here. So I'm just going to, if you want, I can quickly go through it with you.
Yeah, that'd be
So it's
amazing.
super uplifting. So I've done a, I've done a, what I made earlier, but I'm also going to demonstrate
Okay.
how I'm doing it because I do not want my my blender going off in the background. It's not going to like the sound. For some reason, they're so noisy, aren't they? But yeah, this is where I talk about the hydration. So coconut water. Try and see what I've got. So coconut water, I did this last night actually. So chilled green tea.
Okay.
Incredible for you. So green tea is full of like polyphenols and it's actually really high in antioxidants as well.
Mhm.
Brilliant for your gut health and your gut microbiome.
So with the green tea, would you just leave the tea bag in it overnight, or do you take the tea bag?
Yeah. So leave that in overnight, let it chill, put it in the fridge. And then I'm going to use it, like I say, in the morning and then add it to my drinks. It's a nice chill drink.
You can probably make a big batch of that at the start of the week as well,
Oh,
can't you? And
oh, definitely. That's it. And then I need like half a lemon. So I'm going to squeeze that. That's brilliant. That's great. Obviously, we all know great source of vitamin C. So that's great for our skin barrier. Got some fresh ginger, which adds flavour, but it's also incredible for anti-inflammatory properties as well. So again, just keeps everything as calm as possible. I've actually got some frozen pineapple, which is vegan, which I'm going to add in as well. That again just adds some natural sweetnesses and also contains a great source of vitamin C. And then I've got some mint, which is actually a brilliant natural cooling property as well. Plus, it smells incredible. And another way of adding more plant diversity into your meals. So, even already in this drink, we're talking about our 30 plant points a week. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd question if that's a quarter. So just starting your day with just a simple, refreshing drink, there's so many health benefits with that. So,
I have a question, Kelly. Teresa's
yeah.
asking if she likes to have an Earl Grey tea, and I imagine a lot of people like to have an English breakfast tea or coffee in the morning. Does that count as hydration, having those sort of teas or coffees, or not?
Good question. Any caffeine has, I guess, some, it does take its toll with hydration. So they always say to them, recoup it with a glass of water or two, depending on how strong it is. But obviously with teas, like green tea, black tea, coffee, it actually contains quite a good source of polyphenols or antioxidants. So they are good for you. They're not anything to exclude from your diet, if you will. So yeah, I mean, if you want to add those in, that you can add those in and not worry too much. But yeah, definitely, if you are consuming those quite a bit throughout the day, I would highly recommend just to add more hydration into your routine as well.
So yeah, got a little bit of goodness in there, but you need a little bit of extra hydration.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the caffeine element of it that's the biggest concern, really. So it's just more of just it's like we know how dehydrated we feel after coffee. Same applies with tea. So it's just just balance it out with a glass of water.
Mhm.
So the coconut water. So we're going to put 250 milliliters. We will be sharing this recipe, won't we, to everybody
Yes.
that's joined?
Yeah,
So
the
we've
rest.
created a recipe card for you all. So don't worry about trying to remember this. I just want to demonstrate just to show how easy it is to make. So you'll all get that. And then hopefully after this, you can make it and you can tag us in and show us what fun you've had in the morning and how you started your anti-inflammatory part of the day. So we're going with that. And then we've got 100 millilitres of green tea. This, in theory, could serve 2 people. If you want a nice large glass, this is to start your day. You know, this is a really good one. So if you want to treat your hubby or your partner, you know, this is they'll thank you probably.
Or just be really greedy and have it all for yourself.
Or just be like me and just think about yourself. So drink 12 lemon.
This is what I need to invest in, is one of these lemon juices. I keep getting lemon pips in my drinks.
Oh, they are a game changer. If you haven't got one of these, highly, highly recommend you can just get them off Amazon. Incredible. We're going to go for a half a teaspoon of fresh grated ginger. Again, these microplanes, again, these are incredible. Great kitchen accessory to have. Super
You're
sharp.
not even cutting the skin. I always cut the skin off of the ginger, but you're not
Oh,
doing
sorry, I pre-cut it.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, pre-cut it for ease. So that's half a teaspoon, although you could have one, depending on how spicy you like it. And then we're going to get the handful of frozen pineapples. And then a few fresh mint leaves as well. And then we're going to essentially, I'm going to save this for tomorrow. So I'm going to, like I said, if you're doing this full amount, you might have, if you don't want a large drink and if you don't want to share it, if you want to prep it, you can leave it in the fridge. So you've got a few, like you say, batch mode for the next day.
So prep it, but not blend it. So just leave it like that, or do you blend it as well?
I'll blend it, yeah, and then it's ready in the fridge. And then you can just do a quick, brief blend in the morning. So it's ready. You can add ice to this. So it's super refreshing, especially on a hot summer's morning. So this is how it would look. And then I'm going to show you the after.
It really is. We're on our very own cooking show today. This is great.
This is how. This looks. Yeah, there we go. This is how I do it. But yeah, on my. That's not looking great. We need to look nice. So I'm going to put. It's got to be like a mocktail, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the nicest way to start a morning. Very own little cocktail. And it feels like it. I mean, even just from looking from the camera, it just feels like there's so much goodness in there.
Yeah, it's so good. But yeah, top that up with ice. Wow, I promise you, it is incredible. It's so good. I tried some again last night just to make sure my recipe was completely on form, and I was like, oh, it's like so refreshing in the mornings. Maybe don't have the mint leaf in, but if you want it to look pretty, I'm a big fan of that. I'm actually going to drink that maybe alongside because it's delicious.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to be adding ingredients to my next Ocado shop now. I'm like, this looks great.
Definitely. So on the recipe list, we'll be showing the ingredients, why these foods are important, just pretty much how I explained it before, so you can understand what's going on internally whilst you drink it. I'm a massive fan of believing it or understanding that whilst you're eating or drinking nutrients. So then you can visualize what's going on, and then you can feel the benefits a bit more, I think. But yeah, and then how to make it. So it's all the hard work is done for you. Like I said, the sheet will be sent to you, and then you get the joy of making it. Like I said, that took hardly any time at all. It's just having the ingredients in, and it's just a quick blend. So yes, that's our morning routine.
And then what's the best thing to do for the evening? So you mentioned about having this really good evening wind down to sleep well. I think especially we're all struggling with sleep this summer on those hot nights. How can we sort of start to wind the body down in readiness for getting that good night's sleep? Is there anything that we can kind of incorporate into our routine?
Yes, we absolutely can. So my bedtime routine is, again, a good 10 minutes of like wind down. I kind of treat myself like a baby in a way. Like I need routine, I need structure. And I know that makes a massive difference on how I go to sleep, how well I sleep, and how I wake up in the morning. Like I'll check my stats on my watch and like, yes, I've had a good balance of everything from deep sleep, REM, overall light sleep. So my bedtime routine. So you actually had it. I love an eye mask, such a sucker for those. I think, even though my room is pretty dark, but if I wake up in the night, I tend to, if I do, this is sort of secure my eyes shut, so I don't really actually wake up. Sometimes use like little ear pods as well for like noise cancellation, but not all the time. The loop ones are quite good. I recommend
You've got
those.
someone in the bed that snores next to you. I feel like that's never a good thing. So it disrupts your sleep so much. I think that's when you want those loop
Yeah.
ear in to block all of the sound around you.
Also, if you're away, like if you're not used to doing, in hotels, like the aircon going off or, just different noises, different environments, that's like a huge sleep disruptor. So to try and keep it as peaceful as possible, those tools are amazing, I think. And definitely, it's something I definitely always pack. So my nighttime routine. So, well, actually, your sun bag is amazing. Actually, you've got things already in these, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we've actually got a mini version, which actually isn't so mini. It's a very, very good portion.
It's a perfect travel size.
Yeah. So this is a nightfall sleep mist. It's a support stage support. I've actually brought my large one as well because you can see the size of them. But I mean, the difference isn't massive. And a good trial portion size as well. But yeah, this I spray it onto my pillow, on my bed sheets, good sort of 4 to 6 squirts around, and I feel like I'm going into spa heaven. And just immediately, as soon as I breathe it all in, I feel so much more relaxed as I
Mhm.
get myself tucked up. So that is a staple. And then when I do like my bedtime routine, if I like a bath before bed, I really enjoy your bath salts and your bath oil as
Oh,
well.
yes.
Wow.
It's just the best thing. I don't know if anyone else here has used the bath oil as a fan, but the bath oil, I don't know what it is. It kind of gives you different things depending on what you need. But if it's at bedtime, it helps you wind down. If
Yeah.
you're really stressed, it helps to calm you. It's just magic in a bottle. And then the smell just wafts through the entire house.
Yeah,
Afterwards. And I
100%. You absolutely nailed that in your description. It is magic in a bottle because post training, my muscles are a bit tense and I just need to like try and relax my body. I feel like that is, really helpful. And then, of course, just if I've just had such a stressful day or if I'm just struggling, sometimes sleep isn't always 100% perfect. I will always go to that. I think, do you know what? I need to add that into my bath tonight
yeah.
just to try and secure a good night's sleep. And more often than not, it absolutely nails it on the head. And then, of course, we've got your night face cream as well.
Amazing. Yeah. I think you're very much, it's all about being I suppose, a bit of a guardian around getting that set up for the good night's sleep. So putting everything in place to try and give you that optimal sleep.
Yeah. And then
So staying away from the sugary foods and drinks at bedtime then.
absolutely, yeah, keep those as reduced as possible. But I'm going to go on to my gorgeous bedtime routine. Like I said, the drink element of it. I love a chamomile tea before bed,
Mm.
and I feel what I've created here is a really nice, soothing one. So if you fancy quite a little bit of a sweet treat, but then also not too sweet, but also enough to satisfy that as like an hour or two before bed, this is an incredible recipe that I'm going to show you how to make with the chamomile tea in it. So
I'm getting excited now to see. I'm like, what is in that saucepan? What have you got there prepared?
so it's a hot drink. So you can make it in a saucepan, you can make it in a frother, or however you prefer to make your milk. So this is totally up to you. So we've got a couple of ingredients. So you can use oat milk, any sort of plant milk, soy milk, cow's milk. I'm going to use cow's milk today. It's got more protein, more amino acids in there. Um, so we're going to add that in. And then we've got 200 milliliters of strong chamomile tea. This was batch. There should only be 2 tea bags in here, but this is when I did a large volume yesterday.
Mhm.
So yeah, a strong chamomile tea. Then we've also got raw cacao. and a teaspoon of cinnamon, a pinch of nutmeg. And then if you do like a little bit of sweetness, if you find that, just raw cacao is a bit too bitter, honey, just a little bit of a drizzle can just really help elevate that and just create a bit more sweetness for you. So, okay, I'm going to quickly show you how to make that. So I'm going to add in, oh yeah, I've already weighed this up. So this is 200 milliliters of cow's milk. And then we're going to do 200 of, this is pretty much 200 chamomile, which is super relaxing.
Yeah. I would never have thought to put like a chamomile tea in with milk. So
No, I
it's blowing
wouldn't.
my mind. I'm like, would never have even thought of this. I don't know if anyone feels the same. I remember if you have any questions, anyone, please just put it into the chat and I'll get them answered for you.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, if you are just used to these kind of teas before bed, there's just, and if you just want to try something different, this is a great one. So you're still getting that chamomile tea in just to create that relaxation. But you also just create a bit more of a comfort latte, essentially, where, you can enjoy it in a different way. Especially, at the end of the day, if you're, like I say, craving just a little bit of something sweet, this is a really nice little fix, I think. Then we're going to add in 1 teaspoon.
Oh, we've lost your sound.
Spoon of raw cacao. These antioxidants, but also incredible source of polyphenols as well. So we're going to do, I've said in my recipe, it's about 1 teaspoon of raw cacao. But because I said this could also potentially serve as a very large drink or for 2 people, I would say a large scoop of raw cacao rather than just one. But it depends on your thoughts on that and how you like it. And then I'm going to go in with half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So this is great natural sweetness, but also great source of anti-inflammatories as well. Again, a great one before bed to wind down and just try and relax everything that's gone on throughout the day. And then a pinch of nutmeg. Just literally a tiny bit. And then you just stir that, heat it up. You'll probably, because of the water in it, you'll probably struggle to get the froth. So what I sometimes do, if you like a really frothy drink, I would then make this, pour it into a cup, and then I might do like a froth on top of like a separate milk, because I just think the water doesn't quite bind with it. So here's what I made earlier. Like I said, you can add in the honey if you wish as well. So if you just add it, make it sweeter. So this is what it would, just give it a quick stir. This is what it would look like with cow's milk. So you see here, so it's quite milky. You can make it a bit stronger with the cacao if you like. And then I've also made some frothy milk, and you can just pour that on top just to make it a little bit.
Do that. That's great because you can give that to your whole family as well, for children, adults,
Yeah,
for
definitely.
everyone.
Yeah, and then just mix it up. It's up to you. It depends on the consistency you prefer, but I'm just going to put a little bit more cacao because, we've had a good week, so we enjoy ourselves. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's your cacao evening drink. So you can drink that. That is absolutely delicious. Like I say, I had one last night and I was instantly wiped out drinking it. I was like, I need to go to bed. I'm so tired. So some brilliant properties in there. Like I say, even though the cacao is great for like antioxidants, it's got a great source of magnesium as well, which can really help with your sleep too.
Any excuse to have a chocolatey drink before bed, I am completely there for. So thank you so much for sharing these 2 recipes. I'd love to know before we quickly wrap up, so no time is getting there.
Yeah.
Kind of what are 3 simple changes that we can all make this summer that could be good to put into our life? Obviously, these recipes 100%, but what other like simple things we can do that will help?
Okay, so your evening routine is your beauty routine. So use some beautiful products like the Olverum ones, but then also create a nice ritual bedtime routine, like a drink like this, a great source of magnesiums. and antioxidants before bed. And then also create that night, the actual ritual of the routine. So slow down, have a nice hot bath, or, spend time to, just take your mind off things, whether that's doing a beauty routine or something like that, or have um, even a sunset walk, just really find that time to unwind. That is, I would say, the better your sleep is, the better your beauty is from within, and will obviously show externally as well. Second will be summer asks more from your body than you think. So, like I mentioned before, get those plant diversities in, hydration, and your sleep as well. And healthy skin starts before your skincare. So, eat those nourishing meals, the 30-gram points. And think about the overall lifestyle that you have. Try and minimize stress as much as possible, because that can flare up and show up in your skin as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining today. Thank you, Kelly, for sharing all of this insightful information and showing us how to make these drinks. We will be sharing the recipes with you. So you will be getting those, which is very exciting. And we'll also, this will be a recorded event. So you will be able to come back and watch it and see Kelly in full live effect again if you want her to take you through those recipes in person. But I just want to say a massive thank you, Kelly. As always, your knowledge is so incredible, and I just love talking and learning from you. And I will definitely be placing these ingredients into my next card I order.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, it was so nice. Thank you so much for inviting me. I've really enjoyed this session. But yeah, if anybody has any questions whatsoever, just drop me a message. You'll find me on Instagram, Nutrition with Kelly. And yeah, we can have a conversation if there's anything that you need help with.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining. See you all later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.